Good morning. My name is Paul Hartford. I use he, him pronouns. I serve as one of your Board of Trustee members, and I'm happy to welcome you all on Zoom and in the sanctuary to the Tacoma Unitarian Universalist Congregation. Unitarian Universalists are a community of people who hold many beliefs, many origins, identities, sexualities, and genders. We uphold and celebrate the inherent dignity of every person, which means you are welcome here just the way you are. Love is the power that holds us together as we gather in community to seek life's deeper meanings and to celebrate the diversity of all living things. We are all growing with and learning from one another. If you're here for the first time, we bid you a special welcome. After the service, I'll be over there in the corner of the sanctuary to answer any questions you may have about Unitarian Universalism or our congregation, or if you have questions about how to become involved in our community, just ask. I also encourage you to explore our website, tahomauu.com. At that website, you can sign up for our weekly e-news that includes information about important and fun events going on in congregational life and how you can participate. There's so much happening here at Tahoma UU. We have some special announcements. TUUC will be starting our food collection drive next Sunday. Please bring some non-perishable food items for our kids to collect during the service. The food will go to our local food banks and to food programs. And Third Friday potlucks will return September 19th. Go ahead and mark your calendars, September 19th at 12 p.m. That is this Friday down in the church social hall. Bring a potluck dish, enter through the kitchen doors on the north side of the building. We'll plan to open the doors at about 11:30 a.m. This time, we'll discuss and plan topics, speakers, etc. for future Third Fridays. Contact the Third Friday trio with questions. That's Janie Cox, Maria Figueroa, or Fran McLaughlin. One of them should be available after service most Sundays. Also, do we have any folks here that compost? We are looking for somebody to take our rather giant container of coffee grounds to compost. So if you're able to do that, we'd appreciate that. Otherwise, that's going to have to fill up a portion of our garbage. And we also, yes, if you have any questions about that, feel free to ask our gentleman here, John. Be happy to help coordinate that. And then additionally, we have an announcement about our program committees from Ben.
As I'm sure you are all deeply familiar with our bylaw, we have a program committee, which is made up of the chairs of all the other committees that is supposed to meet regularly to coordinate the actions of the committees of the church. I would not say that they have met regularly recently. We would like to change that. And so we are going to host our first program committee in a while meeting next Sunday at noon here right after church. In theory, the program committee is the chair of every committee, but with 1 week notice, we will take anyone from any committee if you can find someone to attend. We are going to talk about the program committee in general. We're also going to talk about the budget, and we're also going to talk about the volunteer drive, which I'm going to leave at that because Margo is going to talk a little bit more about that. But we are going to have our first ever volunteer drive this year, and we want the program committee to be aware and know what's going on so that they can benefit on the off chance that there is any committee that would like more volunteers. Hard to believe, I know, but I suspect that somebody somewhere needs another volunteer. And if you want to volunteer, we will also be giving you very easy ways to do that coming very soon. So look for more information on that.
You all are also invited to join us for a social hour immediately following the service, right over there by the windows. For those of you who are newer to our community, we have red coffee mugs for you to use if you'd like to identify yourself and be approached by people who would enjoy getting to know you. Otherwise, you can use a white coffee mug and be approached the normal amount. If you're someone who would benefit from a large print hymnal or a hearing assistance device, they're available at the back of the sanctuary. As we begin our service in this beautiful place called Tahoma by local indigenous tribes and nations, I acknowledge that we meet today on the land of the Coast Salish people, including the Puyallup tribal nation, land from which they were forcibly displaced. I honor the resiliency and of the indigenous people and stand with them as they continue to protect their culture, land, and water, and fight for their visibility, sovereignty, and very existence. Lastly, please set your electronic devices to worship mode. Let us exhale deeply and settle ourselves into this holy moment of sharing and receiving. Let us join together in worship.
Good morning. I'm the Reverend Margo Rinehart, and I'm your minister. My pronouns are she, hers. You will notice I float in and out, and that's because I only work half-time here, and so the 2 Sundays a month that I am here are very special to me, and I look forward to them. Let me just say, the view from up here is always amazing. I get a view, the celebrant and the board announcer and I get a view on Sunday morning that the rest of you don't. But I want us to frame that as a help wanted ad. We really could use celebrants and celebrants of the person who's kind of up here being part of the face of worship. And the worship associates are behind the scenes doing the Wizard of Oz or the webmaster, pulling together things that load up our slides and coordinate with tech and coordinate with me. And we need people in both those positions. So see me if you're interested. I also want to pause. I realize we do not do a very good job of telling new people what's going on over here. So this is a very special place over here where we light candles. And if you come from a church history, you might know what lighting candles is about. But if you don't come from a church history of which candles are lit, that is when you want to, if you're carrying a joy or a sorrow, you can light a candle for yourself or for someone else. It can be a remembrance, and you can do this at any point in time during the service. So do take advantage of that if that speaks to you. The opening words this morning are from the Reverend Gretchen Haley. She says, for this one moment, know only that you are loved, that you are safe and whole. Know that you belong here among us, upon the earth, and in your body. However tired or broken your heart may be, whatever fear or disappointment or anger that you carry, for this hour, know you are not alone. Feel the presence of others surrounding you, breathing beside you and with you. Discovering together the way our voices rise and fall together. In harmony, in hope. Claim here a resilient freedom. The choice for love and for light. To live with joy and gratitude, and to know that praise is a form of resistance. I will now have Naomi, our celebrant, come up and help us with the chalice lighting.
Hello, I am Naomi Washburn. I use she, her pronouns. I come to Unitarian Universalism from a Christian background. I actually studied to be a pastor for a couple of years even. And so I love Unitarian Universalism because it's more about treating people well than it is about trying to be right all the time. And that's something that as someone who took the teachings of Jesus very seriously is something that I connect with more than I have at any other church. So I really appreciate that. I appreciate this community. And now I am going to call Lincoln up to light the chalice. Lincoln is 10 years old and enjoys video games and writing QEs. We light this chalice in deep respect for the mystery and holiness of life, in honor and gratitude for those who have gone before, with love and compassion for those who dwell among us, and with hope and faith for the generations to come.
Please stand and join us, and this is in your gray hymnal, 346. Sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. Come. Song of love and blue in the winter time.
If I can have everyone young and young at heart, please come sit down. We're going to play a little video today.
And now, The Invisible Boy. Written by Trudy Ludwig. Illustrated by Patrice Barton.
Hold you in our love as you go, as you go. May your heart be at peace as you go. To nurture the spark of your precious life. We hold you in our love as you go.
Good morning, everyone. The act of giving and sharing creates a ripple effect of joy that enriches not only the receiver, but fills your own spirit with unexpected abundance. In the sanctuary, you have an opportunity to share your financial gifts as the baskets are being passed around. And online, you can go to the TUUC website and click on the Give button and follow the prompts there. Thank you so much for your generosity.
the work of this congregation, weaving a tapestry of love we call community, both within and beyond these walls.
We are singing hymn 128, For All That Is Our Life. Please stand and join us, and it is also in your gray hymnal. We're going to be singing out of that for the next one also.
So this is the time in the service where there is normally a reading, kind of kicks off the sermon. And normally I read to you, but this morning it takes 4 different parts. So I am part 1. The choir will be part 2. You will be part 3, this side, and you will be reader 4. So flip over your order of service. It's on the back. And we'll end up going around twice. So we'll have reader 2, reader 3, reader 4. And I am going to softly read at the microphone so people on Zoom can hear what we're saying. All right. And I will cue you. But I feel like we're talking about building belonging this morning, and it is important that we are speaking to each other, not me speaking to you. And this is written by a Unitarian Universalist. Often people say they love coming to a place with so many like-minded people. I know just what they're getting at, and I know that they aren't getting it quite right. I don't want to be with a bunch of people who think just like me. I want to be in beloved community where I don't have to think like everyone else to be loved, to be eligible for salvation. They're people who value compassion, justice, love, and truth, though they have different thoughts and opinions about all sorts of things. I want to be in the people. I want to be with people who have names and no name at all for God. I want to be with people who see my goodness and dignity, also see my failings and foibles, and who still love me. I want to be with people who feel their inner connection with all existence and let it guide their footfalls upon the earth. I want to be with people who see life as a paradox and don't always rush in solve it. I want to be with people who are willing to walk the tightrope that is life and who will hold my hand as I walk mine. I want to be with people who let church call them into a different way of being in the world. I want to be with people who support, encourage, and even challenge each other to higher and more ethical living. I want to inspire one another to follow the call of the Spirit. I want to be with people who covenant to be honest, engaged, and kind, to strive to keep their promises and hold me to the promises I made. I want people who give of themselves, who share their hearts and minds and gifts. I want to be with people who know that human community is often warm and generous, sometimes challenging, and always a grand adventure. In short, I want to be with people like you. Thank you. That was really nice to hear all your voices. So today's sermon is about belonging, and belonging is not the same as joining. I know that so many people are attracted to Unitarian Universalism. They are the same folks who don't like conformity. They don't like compromise of what they believe. They don't want to be beholden to any rigidity that a church might have. They want to be able to explore their own way. Joining and belonging can overlap. And I also want you to know I am a huge proponent of becoming a member of our church here at Tahoma, because becoming a member says you are hearing that call of belonging and you want your piece of it, and you're bringing your piece to it. So I don't want you to think that I am in any way discouraging you from being a member. I actually want to encourage you to do that. And hopefully being a member is belonging. You're hearing that call of that deeper underpinning that lets you come in and just exhale and say, this is my place. Belonging isn't about fitting in, but it requires something bigger and more vulnerable for us. Over the past 5 years, I really go back again and again to the work of, they happen to be 3 women, Brene Brown, Tarana Burke, and Tokapa Turner. Brene Brown, of course, is kind of the larger of life. You see her all over YouTube. She's a social work researcher, and she's also a bit of an evangelist about finding your own inherent worth, not seeing it in anybody's face but your own. Tarana Burke started the Me Too movement, although she had been involved in providing services and counseling to sexual assault survivors for a long time before the hashtag Me Too caught on. And Tokapa Turner is a Buddhist who is deeply influenced by Sufi thought. So Tokapa, our Sufi Buddhist mystic, she warns us to only seek out true belonging. She warns us that our longing for community and a purpose can be so powerful that it can drive us to join the wrong groups, to be involved in the wrong relationships, and to enter into belief systems that diminish and divide our true self. I'm betting none of us have done that over the course of our lifetime, only again and again and again. She says these situations give us a false impression of belonging. Our belonging, our joining is conditional, and it might require us to cut off parts of who we are to fit in. It's the antithesis of the community we want to be, and what we described in our reading just a few minutes ago. Tarana Burke's work with the survivors of sexual abuse, especially women of color, She informs us that the more vulnerable one feels, the harder it is sometimes to reveal your true self. It's only when some conditions of safety can be experienced that a more steady road to belonging can be found. So there is trauma in your history. It can take longer to settle. And for the rest of us, that we need to know that maybe someone's not just being super reserved, and maybe they're not just being standoffish. Let's not have those labels. Let's just say we don't know everybody's story. And we accept whatever story people bring. So Brene Brown takes us further into this self-acceptance and informing us that we can only experience true belonging when we present our authentic, imperfect selves to the world. I might also add, Tarana Burke and Brene Brown have written a book together, and they do podcasts together, and their message is really powerful if you catch that outside of here. And I hear it in what Brene Brown says. She says, our sense of belonging can never be greater than our level of self-acceptance. And again, she'll tell you, don't be out there looking for it from everybody else. She says, true belonging is a spiritual practice of believing in and belonging to yourself so deeply that you can share your most authentic self with the world and find sacredness in both being a part of something and standing alone in the wilderness. The true belonging doesn't require you to change who you are. It requires you to be who you are. That is one of the most pithy things I have ever heard. And I used to have it taped up on my office monitor. So that makes our job here, it's a Homo Unitarian Universalist congregation, or TUUC for short. That makes our job here to be as accepting as we can for those on the journey to find a spiritual home, where they can take the risk of being their authentic selves, where we can take the risk of being our authentic selves. And because we are always welcoming new people in, our composition is always in flux. It's always in change. We are not the church we were a year ago, or 5 years ago, or 10 years ago, or last spring. So, and that not be an obstacle, let that be an excitement. And you can hear it rooted in the ideas and the values of the reading we just said, I want to be with the people. Because as new people come in, they stretch how we think. And so we are thankful for that. For me, belonging to a spiritual home, to a congregation, a place of Unitarian Universalism, and I feel like I have 4, right? I am here 2 Sundays a month. I am also at another Unitarian church sometimes. I have a home congregation in Bremerton, and then I belong to Unitarian Universalist minister groups. So belonging in those UU spaces has been a paramount factor in my spiritual growth for almost 30 years. I get ideas and feedback from others that challenges me and stretches my thinking. And the faces and the stories and the needs of others push and inspire me to be the best person I can be. And granted, we work on that a little bit at a time. Those experiences with other Unitarian Universalists help me, invite me in, and help me to do the same for them. We learn, we change, we grieve, and we celebrate better in community. So these are the ideas and the 4 voices in the reading we just heard. To be with people who are willing to walk the tightrope that is life, and who will hold my hand as I walk mine. People who support, encourage, and even challenge each other to a higher and more ethical way of living. People who let church call them in a different way of being in the world. People who inspire one another to follow the call of the Spirit, whatever that means for you. People who covenant. We talk a lot about covenanting in Unitarian Universalism, partially because we have Christian roots, which is where that covenant language comes from. But we still have covenant meaning promise. So people who promise to be honest, engaged, and kind, who strive to keep their promises and hold me to the promises that I make. And that we all make room, that we will fail at those promises again and again and make reparation. I heard the words of Unitarian Universalist minister Mark Morrison Reed echoing a lot of this. He says we do much better work when we belong in religious community. Ideas, he says, he was speaking my language, and I'm going to quote him in a minute, but ideas that you might already have in your heart or in your belly, but now there are concise words to put on them. He says the central task of religious community is to unveil the bonds that bind each to all. There is a connectedness, a relationship discovered amid the particulars of our lives and the lives of others. And once felt, it inspires us to act for justice. It is the church that assures us that we are not struggling on our own, but as members of a larger community. The religious community is essential, for alone our vision is too narrow to see all that must be seen, and our strength is too limited to do all that must be done. Together our vision will widen and our strength is renewed. I know we are all looking for renewal right now. I am always got my ears open over here at coffee hour. Well, I've always got my ears open because I'm always thinking about what am I going to preach next? What do people want to hear? Not what do I want to say, but what do you want and need to hear? So I know we're all looking for renewal. And it goes beyond the feelings and responses to what is happening nationally, although I know that is weighing so heavily on us. I'm also talking about how we can be of service to the church and to the building and to our place of belonging. All of you have a part to play in keeping our congregation vibrant and engaged because we all belong to one another. You already heard me do my ask this morning. Hey, would you be interested in being a celebrant up here and sharing this pulpit space? Or would you be interested in being a worship associate, the wizard that makes all these slides and all these pieces behind the scenes come together, and who talks with new and interesting speakers and gets them settled? We work very hard here. I notice how much work is done by the volunteers throughout the week and on Sunday mornings. And only a few weeks from now, we are going to be asking you, yes, you, if you can spare 2 hours a month to volunteer here. And worship associate or celebrant would be about 2 hours a month. We hope that means that 2 hours a month from newer folks will allow some of the people who have been upholding this for so long to step back just a little bit. You don't get to go away. You do not get to go away. And you might need to mentor some people who are stepping up. So stay tuned for that. That ask won't happen until October, but just know it's coming, because working shoulder to shoulder is a wonderful way of building belonging. I'm also trying to start 1 to 2, well, Maria and I and Mary Berry and possibly others are trying to start 1 to 2 chalice circles. And chalice circles are an opportunity for you to sink more deeply into the theme of the month and do that with people who worship here. This month's theme is building belonging. I put a chalice booklet over here. On this table is our sign-up table over here, which has a red tablecloth. I put a booklet there so you can look at it. And then what happens in a chalice circle is we generally meet once a month, sometimes twice a month. So there are questions for you to ponder. There's links to podcasts and to music. There's beautiful quotes. You can choose a spiritual practice or two and just kind of try it out and come back to the group and say, hey, I discovered this about how I fit in this building belonging, or whatever the theme is for the month. You receive for yourself and you give to others in that group. The first group's going to meet on Monday, September 29th. So there's not a whole lot of time to keep signing up. Well, let me back out on that. To sign up for that one, the signups will be open and ongoing. And today I want you to take home your order of service. I know a lot of people, we recycle it at the end of Sunday, and that's just fine. But today I want you to take it home so that you can read I Want to Be with the People again at your leisure in your quiet time. Because we want to be with those people. But let's ask ourselves how we can bring in and welcome newcomers through our door. Who can we be when we show up for one another? It's not just us showing up on Sunday morning. It's how we show up for one another. So belonging should offer you nourishment and restoration. It should strengthen your spirit. It should become a place of bedrock over time and renewal for when life feels confusing and taxing and overwhelming. Something to bring you hope and a deep knowing that those around you see you as a gift to the world. Amen.
Our final hymn is number 290. Wake Now My Senses. It's also in your gray hymnal. If you could stand and join us. Wake now my senses and hear the earth call. Feel the deep power of being and all. Keep with the web of creation your vow. Giving, receiving, as love shows us how. Now my reason, reach out to the new. Join with each pilgrim who quests for the truth. Taking and willing and wisdom of ground. Suffer thy limit and praise the sublime. Wake now compassion, give heed to the cry. Voices of suffering fill the world. share. Work toward a planet transformed by our care. We ran out of orders of service today. Can I have, thank you. I'm gonna go talk to Sean about printing up some new ones so that anyone who didn't get one can get one so that we can take it home. Just wanted to make sure you knew that.
I did not know that, and thanks for saying that. So our closing words are from the poet David White, called The House of Belonging. I awoke this morning. The veil had gone from my darkened heart, and I thought, this is the bright home in which I live. This is where I ask my friends to come. This is where I want to love all things. It has taken me so long to learn to love. There is no house like the house of belonging. Naomi will help us in extinguishing the chalice.
All right. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And now for the closing blessing song.
From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. It looks like we're having a little difficulty with printing right now, so the orders of service will be online if you'd like to print a copy at home, or just pull it up and save it on your phone so that you can read the words on the back. And we put it in the e-news, okay? Just wanted to let you know.